Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dear Harvest LA family. Peace be with you all. This is Pastor Jackie, and today is Monday, March 15th, 2021. Today's passage is from Matthew 23, 13 to 24. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You shut the door of the kingdom of heaven in people's faces. You yourself do not enter, nor will you let those enter who are trying to. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You travel over land and sea to win a single convert, and when you have succeeded, you make them twice as much a child of hell as you are. Woe to you, blind guides! You say, if anyone swears by the temple, it means nothing. But anyone who swears by the gold of the temple is bound by that oath. You blind fools, which is greater, the gold or the temple that makes the gold sacred? You also said, if anyone swears by the altar, it means nothing. But anyone who swears by the gift on the altar is bound by that oath. You blind man, which is greater, the gift or the altar that makes the gift sacred? Therefore, anyone who swears by the altar swears by it and by everything on it. And anyone who swears by the temple swears by it and by the one who dwells in it. And anyone who swears by heaven swears by God's throne and by the one who sits on it. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You give a tenth of your spices, mint, dill, cumin, but you have neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter without neglecting the former. You blind guides! You strain out a net but swallow a camel. If you also read the passage yesterday from verse 1 of chapter 23, you would know the context why Jesus started blaming the teachers of the law and Pharisees with those harsh words such as, woe to you, you hypocrites! They had the authority to interpret the law of Moses, but they used that privilege for their own interest to lift themselves high. So, in today's passage, Jesus said this phrase, woe to you, 4 times, and tomorrow you will hear this 3 more, because Jesus was pointing out all those things they did wrong. Jesus called them hypocrites, because the Greek word for hypocrite means an actor or a stage player. So basically, these religious leaders were wearing masks and not really being themselves in front of people. They made people stumble because they couldn't live up to the standard they set, but pretended as if they could. And their teachings were twisted, so they misled people in their faith. If people followed them and became one of the Pharisees, it's just not something that brings hope. Not sure if that was intentional or just careless, but the teachers of the law and Pharisees appreciated gold and gift more than the temple and altar. It's hard to believe it because they simply missed the connection with God through the altar and temple, but focused on the sacrifices. Also, they counted the tithe even on the spices, but neglected the more important matters such as justice, mercy, and faithfulness. The last line in verse 24 is showing that when they filtered the residues out from the refined wine, they strain out a net, the tiny bug that is considered unclean, but they swallow a camel. You might find it funny why there would be a camel in the wine, but this is actually a pun in Aramaic because gnat is gelma and camel is gemla in their language. See, Jesus was someone who really had humor in his teachings too. Following the Lord's commands is so crucial, but when it turned out to be legalism with incorrect interpretation, it can be very harmful. Let us not to forget that Jesus was the greatest among us, but he humbly served us all. When we are given the authority to take leadership at church or different groups, I pray that God will help us discern the truth and show compassion to those who are seeking the kingdom of heaven. Have a blessed week. Bye bye.